Hi, good evening, everyone. Okay, welcome to this webinar today. Okay, for the topic of master the study tips during SPM preparation with 10 easy techniques. Okay, may I ask everyone if you can hear me clearly? If you can hear me clearly, can you give me a yes on the chat room? So may I see a yes on the chat room if you can hear me well? Okay, great. So welcome back, everyone. So I see some of the familiar name here. Welcome back. Right. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay. Before that, a soft reminder for everyone. Okay. If you got any question, okay, please put your question in the chat box, and then the moderator or the trainer will answer your question from time to time. For your information, I'll be your moderator today. My name is Mr. Tony. Okay, I think some of you know me. All right, so I will be moderate for this session, and I hope everyone can pay more attention today. And in case if you want to ask any question using voice, please raise hand. Okay, raise hand in your chat room. There is a function for raise hand. We'll open for Q&A at the last 10 minutes. So please, if you got questions, okay, you can ask later on. Please also turn off your mic and webcam. Okay, we don't try to avoid the interruption. We will be giving a certificate for you for those who join us live today. Okay, and this thing will be open at the last 10 minutes. And this webinar will be locked down. Okay, 50 minutes later after we start. Okay, in case your friends are not yet joined us, please ask them to come in as soon as possible. All right. Okay, so for today's topic, okay, we'll be talking about the 10 techniques, okay, for exam preparation, okay, especially for those preparing for SPM. Although I know that SPM is already delayed, but still you need to get prepared. So whatever we share today, please get a pen and paper and write it down. Okay, and we will be at the end of this webinar, you will be know how to plan ahead for your exam before your exam. Okay, and also stay calm, okay, during your exam. Okay, so don't get panic. And for our today's speaker is Miss Shalin. Okay, Shalin Sham. She has a bachelor of commerce accounting, and she has also 3 years experience in auditing and taxation, right? 5 years experience in sales and marketing. Okay, she knows you guys very well in case because she have also 10 years experience in education industry. So whatever she mentioned later on the tips, especially, I believe she can actually give you a good tips so to get yourself prepared for your exam. Okay. Currently, she is a head of sales marketing at our Segi College Penang and also one of the co-founder for Plan B Learning. All right. So without further ado, okay, let's welcome Miss Shalin.
Okay, thank you, Tony. Okay, let me show my slide. Okay, good afternoon, everyone. So welcome back. I can see some of your familiar name over here. Thanks for joining us again. So, first of all, just want to know everyone can hear my voice and also see my slide. If let's say you can, you just type a one so that I know everyone is can hear and also can see. Okay, good. Okay, so most of you able to hear and also see. So welcome everyone. Today just a sharing sections on how to master the study tips during your SPM preparation. For those who are like Form 1 until Form 4, you can use these study tips for your exam preparation also. So there is 10 tips over here, but then of course there will be more. So what I will be sharing is the main 10 only lah. So the rest, if let's say you found that some of other tips might be helping me, you can continue to use that I'm not saying that those that you are following now is not right. There is no right and wrong, because for these study tips is actually depends on individual. Everyone, which one is more suitable for you or you're comfortable with. Okay, so before start, just let me introduce to you Plan B Learning. So me and my partner actually we come up with this Plan B Learning is to provide e-tuition, online tuition for secondary students, from 1 until form 5. And also we are providing e-counseling. E-counseling is something like after your form 5, normally student will be confused, which college should I go, or which should I go for Form 6? Should I go for matrix, or whether I should go for diploma? Then what kind of rebate scholarship they are offering? So actually Plan B is helping students on all these things. So for those of you who have friends like after Form 5 they need this kind of counseling,
嗯，
can always approach
一
me.
方场。
Okay, if not, then those who are in Form 5, maybe next year we will see you all for this e-counseling session. Okay, so the first one for this study tips is before start. Okay, someone cannot hear. How about others? Okay, now can you hear me? Okay, so for this revision, so can I ask a question for those participants over here? How normally how you do your revision? You'll be do after 1 week, or somehow after you come back from school you will directly do the chapter revision, or how? So can any one of you share normally how you do your revision? You will plan like 1 month once, or you will just like before exam I will just start my revision. So anyone can share? You can just type it in the chat box. Okay, some like about 2 weeks before exam. Okay, some near exam. Okay, so basically there is some, I'm not sure, maybe some of you doing is weekly basis. That's me after 1 week I will just do a revision within that week what the teachers have taught me. Then I do my notes. Some even they will do like monthly basis. That's mean after 1 month I will just do a conclusion on all that. Okay, then the last one is before exam. Okay, so most of us, I think include myself, last time when I in form 1 until form 5, even though I'm in college, I used to do my revision only before exam. So when you found that before exam you may start to do your revision, you will be a bit stressed, you will be a bit nervous. Why? Because you will think of, okay, I still got 2 more weeks time, I still got 1 more week time, 3 days left, I still haven't finished that. So when you have all this kind of feeling, then this one, how you think? It will affect your study already, because you stress, you're very afraid, then you cannot concentrate. Then I think some of you might be experienced what I read already, I cannot absorb. When I go to exam, it's totally blank. Or when you see the question, you are saying that, this question is very familiar. But how come I cannot think of the answer? Okay, so this is all the symptoms if let's say we do revision last minute. Okay, even like you say that 2 weeks before, I don't think for SPM is sufficient for you, because SPM at least you have 7 to 8 subjects. Okay, so if let's say within 2 weeks you need to absorb all these 7 to 8 subjects, it's really impossible. So try, since now your SPM is delayed to next year January, so you see from you still have like how many months, around 7 months for you to do preparation. So start from now, you actually can start to plan stage by stage to do your revision. Then when it come to next year, you won't be so stressed. You will be very relaxed. Some of you might be experienced that, hey, why my friend don't need to study one before exam. I think most of you, before you enter to exam hall, you still holding your book. You still holding your book and go and read through all the things. But you will find some people, they won't hold the book. They will just talking, they will just chit chat. How come they can be so relaxed? Because these people, they have do the planning, they have do their revision earlier. Actually, if let's say you do your revision last minute, you cannot absorb everything. Okay, so the first one, give yourself enough time to study. So this is what I'm actually talking about. So you see the picture, the child. This is normally what we face if let's say we study last minute. You keep reading, but you don't know whether you can absorb things or not. Okay, so how you do it? Don't leave it until the last minute. So you need to manage your time, and use how to manage. You set up a timetable for your study. So you need to plan ahead. How you plan? Last time what I do is I write down how many exam I have. That means if let's say your SPM, you have bio, physics, chemistry, BM, English, then sejarah. Okay, you write down all your exam and also the days. When, for example, Monday, okay, let's go to this example. This one is just a very simple example. I don't think you need sit for 5 subjects only. Okay, you see, for example, like my Monday, I go for Bahasa Cina. So you need to estimate for Bahasa Cina because it's a language. Language, normally you need to memorize something like sastra or how. You will need shorter time. Maybe I need 5 days for me to do revision. Okay, perniagaan, I need more time. I need 13 days. So you need to roughly write down how many days you need for your exam. So you see, from Monday until Friday, that's all my exam. So it took me 55 days for me to do revision. Okay, so if let's say 55 days, that means you see, only 5 subjects. I need to plan and do my revision 2 months, almost 2 months before. Okay, so normally what I suggest is I come up with a calendar. If let's say you can see over here, so if let's say 12 October, I choose for October, maybe your child will be in October or somehow. 12 October, I start my first exam, Bahasa Cina. Okay, normally 1 week before, that's mean this week. Okay, 5th until 11, you should not continue to do your revision. During this period, you should take more rest. And also, what you need to do is just, if let's say you really want to do revision, you just read your own notes only. Don't go and memorize anything within this week. Because if you continue memorize over here, it will confuse. Whatever you read before, you will forget. Or somehow you will have the feeling, last time I read is like A, but now what I read is B. So what happened? You will go and find again. So when you go and find again, it will make all the things jumble up. So your mind will be confused. Then you won't have enough time to study. So what over here, like exam start on 12 October. So 5th until 11 is your rest time. Although I say rest time, I don't mean that you cannot take up your book. During this time, what you should study is just study for your notes, not your textbook, not the question anymore. Just a simple notes for you to refresh whatever you studied before. So if let's say I take 55 days, that means my revision should be start on 16 July. You see, October is my exam, but I need to do my revision start from July. So it took me around 2 months plus because I minus out Saturday and Sunday. Okay, so normally Saturday and Sunday, some people will take it as a rest day. Okay, so this is just a simple calculation, but you need to plan ahead based on your own. Okay, so start from 16 July, you should start to plan. If let's say Monday, what should I do revision? Tuesday, which subject do I go for? Or Wednesday, what subject should I go for? So after you have timetable, every week you continue with this timetable. Then you'll find it by 5th or before 5th, you already done all your revision. So you'll be relaxed. When you relax, your mind clear. When you go for exam, you can write down anything. Because when you tension, when you scared, okay, you will forget everything. So this is normally what I experience. I only able to catch this up during my, how to say, my last year of my college, because every time I also do very last minute. For example, this month I having exam, I only do last month. Okay, so I found it that it's not good. Although some of it I can memorize very well, but after exam I will totally forget. So it will waste my parents' money. So during last year of my university, one of the speaker that come over here, then he got me on this thing. So I try to follow this method. It's really work. So when I plan ahead, even though 2 weeks before, I already finished all my revision. I don't even touch any books within that 2 weeks. I only do because I got do some notes, so I only read my simple notes only. So you can try this method and see. Okay. Okay. So this is the first. The second one is organize your study space. Okay, I know that when you have an exam, you'll be very tension. All the textbook, all the past year questions, all the things will be jumbled up in your study space. Okay, so when your study space is jumbled up, you will saw a lot of things. So how do you feel? You don't feel comfortable. You feel very tension. Oh, why I got so many things I haven't read. So when you have this kind of feeling, you really cannot focus. Okay, so at least your study space you must organize a bit. Okay, so make sure you have enough space to spread your textbook and notes out. As I mentioned previously, you have your timetable. Monday you go for example, biology. Okay, make sure before you start your revision, whatever you need, your biology textbook or even your biology notes is on your table. The rest, you just keep it aside. Don't mix up with chemistry, physics books all over there. You'll feel very tension. So try to just put your biology on your study space. Then the balance, you just put it aside. Or you have one small table or another rack for you to put, you just put it aside first. Okay. Second thing, when you do your study, make sure have you got enough light. Okay, make sure the environment is clear enough for you to read. Okay, some people they like to squeeze inside the room, open the aircon, but they don't open the light. So when you not open your light, you start to read. After that, you will feel sleepy. When you feel sleepy, you can't concentrate and you waste your whole day. That's all. So make sure you have enough light. Okay, then the third thing is your chair comfortable? So when you sit on your table, on your chair, okay, make sure you are comfortable with the space and also the height. Okay, you don't take a very high chair to sit or take a like a lazy sofa to sit over there to study. I don't think you can study because for sofa normally you sit, you will fall asleep. Okay, make sure your chair is comfortable for you to sit for 1 hour or 2 hours during your revision. And the last, very last, are your computer games out of your sight. Okay, if you put a laptop or even you put a very simple things, you put a handphone over there. Whenever it rang, this one is human nature, we will just go and see what is the message. So when we see the message, oh, my friend text me, I reply first. So when you reply, start from there, you will chit chat, then until you forget your revision time. Okay, so try to avoid for this one. So if let's say during your revision, I think only like 1.5 or 2 hours is more than enough, is too long. So during these 2 hours, you just put your phone in silent mode. Or even last time, because I cannot, even I put silent, I can see the light over there. So what I do, my phone, I go and put at living room. I put a living room. Then I study in my room. So you can see, I cannot see my phone. No matter what happened, I will not be distracted from all these things. Okay? Because don't tell me you have something urgent. Because you're at home. If let's say your parents got something urgent, they know that you're at home, they will call you. Of course, they will knock your door. Okay? So this one is the second tips, because most important is now we have all these games. So you will see, I read for 1 hour. Let me relax for a while first. Okay, you will start to play the games. When you start to play the games, it will be non-stop. You won't stop. Okay, so you need to control yourself. Try to give like 2 hours out of this all these social things, so that you can concentrate 2 hours, make use of these 2 hours for your revision. Okay, you see the picture, they have enough light over here. Okay, the chair probably is suitable for certain people. Okay, laptop, I'm not I think secondary you all no need a laptop, because most of your things you have your textbook, you have your notes already. Okay, normally laptop some is more to like college life, because college we don't really have a textbook. All the things the teacher give to us is like how to say, it's like a soft copy in PowerPoint, so we need to refer. But I think for secondary school, normally teachers give you all is a hard copy paper or even textbook. Okay. Okay, next we go to the next one. Okay, third. Okay, this one you can use flowchart and diagrams. Okay, you can see over here, this is a simple flowchart. Okay, why I say so, use a flowchart and diagram. Okay, visual arts, visual things normally can be very helpful, because for human, when you see a textbook full of words, you won't have the mood to study. Okay, so what you need to do, from all these like 300 to 400 words, you just simplify into a flowchart or diagram. Will it be easy for you to read through? It will be very easy. When you want to do one more time revision, you just refer back to this one. You don't even need to refer to your textbook. Okay, start from now. Probably you can spend certain times, like after your teacher teach you for one chapter. So after one chapter, you challenge yourself. After teacher teach your things, so you challenge yourself. Whatever I remember for this chapter, I will just write down first. Okay, why? Because when you reflect back the things, it will, how to say, search through your memory, so you will know that how much actually you have learned inside the class. Okay, whatever you learn after one chapter, so you just challenge yourself, use a blank paper to write down whatever you know about that chapter. Okay, after that, you can take your textbook or even your teacher notes, try to match it to see any important things that I miss out. Okay, if yes, probably you can highlight it, because when you highlight, you will start to remember. Okay, then after that, from whatever you write down, you convert into the diagram. This is the first time when you do your revision. After teacher teach you, when you do your first time revision, you can always start with a diagram or even a flow chart. This one will be very helpful for the science subject. Okay, even if let's say you want to say sejarah, also will be very helpful because sejarah is full of the years 1990 what, okay, then 17 what is a zaman or how, okay, it's full of all these things. So you can use a flow chart to write down. Okay, after that, when if let's say you want to do for your second time revision, you don't even need to refer back to your textbook. You just read the flow chart and also the diagram. You can understand. Okay, so flow chart and diagram, I'm not saying that how to say last time what we do is I probably I'm very strong in mathematics, so I will just do a chart or anything for all the mathematics formulas. So some of my friends that will do another thing. Okay, so maybe you can try to discuss with your friends, see who can do. But after your friend do, you must really sit down and ask your friend to explain to you why. Because different people have different style. Sometimes I don't even understand what my friend draw. Okay, so when she explained to me, oh, then I understand this diagram is what. So next time when I do revision, I know how to read the diagram. And some people they don't like, they like to do it on their own. So it depends on all of you. So if let's say after one chapter, teacher teach you can start to do all these notes. Then in the end, when teacher finish up the whole chapter, you have all the diagram, all the flow chart. You don't even need to refer to your textbook. You just focus on all these things. Okay, so when before SPM, even you want to refer, just refer to your notes. Okay, this one will make your revision more, how to say, shorten the time and easy for you. Then the next one, number 4, is practice on old exam. Old exam, which means is your past year question. So you see now in popular or some bookshop that even have all these like kertas soalan peperiksaan SPM from which year to which year. So actually you can just, or if you can just buy this book to practice, or some even your school teacher that will give you one. For example, they will give you, you are from Penang, so they will give you like kertas state what is their SPM question or what is their past year question to do. Why you need to do all these past year question? Okay, because you want to get used to the format. Okay, every subject they have different format. For example, sejarah, you got paper 1, paper 2, paper 3. These 3 papers they have different format. So you want to get used. Oh, for sejarah, this is the format that I have. Okay, for BM, this is the format. Okay, so when you have the format, you know the format already. When you go to SPM, you won't be panicked. At least you know, like you can imagine that, oh, for sejarah, now when I go to exam hall, this will happen. Okay, you already know what will happen. Okay, another things for you to practice for this past year question is make sure you spend the right amount of time on each section, because different paper they have different timing, so you can make use of this to see how much time you need to complete one section. Okay, this one normally what you can do, don't limit yourself first. The first time you try on this one, you try to see, like for example section 8, let me see, like sejarah paper 1, you try to do all the question and you give yourself a timing. After you finish, you see your time, how much time you take for this. Okay, so from there you can calculate average each question I will take around how many minutes. Then you will see whether I'm exceed the time or I'm within the time. So if let's say you exceed the time, the second time when you practice, you must tell yourself, this time I need to shorten. Instead of 1 minute for one question, I need to spend 30 seconds for one question. Okay, so if let's say within 30 seconds you still cannot find the answer, what you should do? Don't struggle. Go to the next question first. Don't stick to the same question for a very long time, because no matter how, if let's say you cannot think of it, no matter how many time you spend, you still cannot. So you go to the next question first. Okay, after you finish up the rest of the question, then only you come back to the one that you not yet answer. Maybe you can do a remark. You put a star or you put an asterisk for those questions that you not yet answer. Okay, so from here you can practice. Another thing is, for this past year question, I think most of you should be know. Certain question is very popular in SPM. Okay, you can see every year this kind of question or this topic that will be coming up in the SPM. So when you practice your past year question, you will know which topic is the most important, will be covered more. So if let's say you don't understand that particular topics, you can spend more time to do revision, because not every topic it will be covered inside the SPM. So when you do this past year question, you can start to do some analysis. Which topic they will cover more, so I focus more on that topics. So this is another advantage if let's say you go for past year question. In popular, I think they have a lot, almost every subject they have one set of this, something like this for the past year question. Okay. Okay, then the fifth one is explain your answer to others. What does it mean? Okay, you see, explain to me like I'm 4 years old, like this photo. Okay, so this one is like after you do your revision, normally you will reflect. So when you reflect, the best way is for you to explain to others. Probably you can explain this one to your parents, or you can explain this one to your siblings, or even you can explain to your friends. Okay, sometimes last time when I during my college, what we do is we say this week we go back to do this chapter revision. Okay, so after that we meet in the library, then we will ask each other question, because sometimes when you do revision, certain answer or certain question you don't know, so you just write down the question or the answer. Okay, then after that during your revision with your friend, I will just ask back, hey, this how to answer then those of your friends who know, they will explain to you. Sometimes you found that the more you explain, okay, you can answer, you can remember more easy compared to just memorize. Okay, so help you to get it clear in your head and highlight any areas where you need more work. Sometimes your friends will know, hey, the answer that you tell me actually got something wrong, or this one you can improve something over here. Okay, so this one can help you also, because your friend is listening to you also. Okay, so probably for this one is more on like theory, or somehow even like when you do mathematics question, some people certain topics they don't understand, so you can say, come, I help you, you explain to them. So when you explain, if let's say they understand and they're clear about it, which means the way you explain they also understand. Okay, then this one will help you to have more deep memory about the topic. Okay, so I'm sharing halfway already. So tips 1 to tips 5. So far, everyone can follow, or you have any question want to ask? If let's say you are okay, just type me your okay. If let's say you have some question, you can just write inside the chat box for these 5 tips. Tips 1 until tips 5. Okay, so anything you want to ask for before I continue to the another 5. Okay, so far I think should be no, because there is no response over here. Okay, so before I continue, so let me just have a quick introduction for this plan B. So before that, I mentioned that we have the online tuition. So this online tuition we offer is for different subject. We do have English, account, maths, and more. Okay, so for example, like even MX or even Malay or biology or physics, we also have it. So for those who are really interested for this online tuition, so during the last session, we will give out one link. So actually, you all can register over there. Then we have one free trial session for you all. Okay. So tips number 6 is organize study group with friends. Some of you might be very scared to have this group study, because I can hear the feedback from certain students that say, if let's say I have these study groups, we are not studying, we are chit chatting. Okay, so of course there will be some chit chatting over there, but this one is still depends on every one of you, your self discipline. Okay, you all must know why you need to gather together. The purpose is for you to do revision. Okay, so for this one, why I ask for this study group, because you can ask questions. Sometimes when you do revision by yourself, there is certain questions that you still don't know how to answer, or you cannot find any answer. Okay, so you will be struggle over that. How to do this one, especially for those like mathematics or even some accounts question. You will think that how to do this one, why I cannot balance, why I cannot get the answer, okay, but you have nobody for you to refer. So the study group, the purpose is for you all to raise the question. Maybe you all can do something like, okay, this week let's go back to do revision from chapter 1. Okay, so after that, next week, maybe Tuesday, we come out for half an hour or 1 hour, we have a study group. So during this 1 hour, what you all do is ask question. So during your revision, what you don't know, you ask your friend, hey, my revision, I don't know this question, how to do. Okay, your friend will start explaining to you, and the rest they can listen to. Or even somehow your friends don't know, then it's time for you to explain. So when you explain, you have a deep memory. You don't even need to do second round of revision. You already remember it. So this is a benefit for you. So take it as a challenge, because for study group with friends, it's really a challenge. For human nature, most of it when we gather, we are chit chatting, but this one depends on self discipline. So you all really need to find a group of friends who can really do the study together one. Okay. Okay, tips number 7 is take regular breaks. I think most of you, when you come to the exam times, you will force yourself. not to sleep or sleep very late. I sleep at 2 midnight, then I wake up at 6 for my exam or somehow. Okay, please don't do that, because if let's say you don't have a regular break, your mind cannot function. Okay, then if your mind cannot function, it will affect your performance. You cannot remember, you cannot reflect back the things, then in the end you don't know how to answer the question. Okay, remember to take a break. Okay, so you see many people will think that study as many hours as possible. The more I study, the more I remember. Actually, this statement is wrong. Okay, you really need to study, but not for a very long hour. One day you have 24 hours, you can't study for 20 hours or 18 hours. Your mind cannot function for so long. Probably one day for revision, for you to read through the things, you can take up to 5 to 6 is the max already. Don't take more than that, because if let's say you take more than that, you really cannot. Although you study, but in the end you find out that, what I studied just now, you cannot remember already. Okay, so for you to have all this knowledge, actually is a long term retention. That means it's accumulate, not within one day. I use one short 24 hours, I can know all the things. You need time. That's why the first tip that I share with you, like you need to calculate how many days you need. So you need, from there you accumulate, then until the end all these things will be helped. So you see, when I fix my timetable, I don't even set a study time for Saturday and Sunday, because this one I will take a break over there. Okay, so develop a study routine. Different people that have different study routine. It still depends on you. Some people they will say that morning time I can study more, I can memorize more. And some people they will say no, morning I cannot study one, I can only study at night. Okay, so for those of you who can study in the morning, so make sure before you start your revision in the morning, you have a very good sleep a day before. Sleep early, then after that when you wake up, your mind fresh, then you can start your study in the morning. So for those who really study at night, okay, so during the afternoon, probably you might take a break, a short nap. Okay, after that, then only you can have enough energy for you to study at night. So different people they have different timing. For myself, I will study at night one. Okay, so normally for morning, I really, for the whole morning section before 12, I won't touch any books. I will just sleep and relax myself. Then after 12, I will take a lunch. Then after that, I will start to prepare, okay, tonight what I want to study. So I will prepare all the things in my study space. Then when the night come, it's time for me to study. Okay, so you have to depend yourself whether you are morning, or some people afternoon, some people will be at night. So you need to plan ahead. Okay, don't stress yourself to study for 15 or even 10 hours per day. No use. Okay. Number 8, snack on brain food. Okay, so most of you, I think even myself also experience, the moment when you sit down to do revision, you will find out that you will always feel hungry. Okay, so you go to find all those snack, ice cream, all those things to eat. Okay, so after you eat, you will feel what? After I eat, I feel like I want to sleep already. Okay, so when keep away from junk food. Okay, don't eat junk food so much during your revision time. Okay, because when we use our brain much, we really will be how to say, feel hungry because we use up the energy. Okay, so when you're hungry, try to choose some nutrition food. These are the food that can help you to have focus, concentration, or even help in terms of your memory. Because I know that for Form 5, you have a lot of things to memorize. For example, the first one is sejarah. Second things probably is your max formula. Okay, sometimes for those who are from science stream, we have biology, chemist, all this you need to remember. So try to choose your food. Okay, you can eat more. Here is some suggestion for you lah. For your concentration and memory, you can choose to eat more fish, nuts, or even yogurts. Okay, this one will help you to be more focused and to increase your memorization. Okay, if you like the picture, you go and eat all those spaghetti, ice cream, bread, all these things. This one, yes, after you eat, you'll be feel full. But this one is all carbohydrate. Okay, all these things will help you to make you sleepy. So you will observe that after you eat all these things, you'll feel sleep. You want to sleep. Okay. So during your before your exam, try to how to say avoid for certain food. Okay, because you need to keep yourself healthy. If you are healthy, then only you are appear physically in your exam hall. Okay, eat a good meal before exam. Of course, what I say is don't how to say have an empty stomach before you go for exam. Certain people they will say that later exam I have no mood to eat. I don't want to eat. After finish exam only I eat. Please don't. At least you eat something. Maybe you can take some oat or you can take some Milo. Because when your brain is how to say when you feel hungry, your brain really cannot function and you cannot focus. Or when you lost your focus, then in your exam you will lost. You don't know where you want to go. All your planning, all your revision, it will just gone like that. Okay. Or some people even of you have some gastric. So if let's say for those of you here you have gastric, make sure you eat something. Take regular food. That means your breakfast, your lunch, and also dinner, you must take it. If not, when your gastric come, you fall asleep, then how are you going to sit for your exam? Okay? Okay, number 9 is plan your exam day. I think before your exam start, there should be a timetable for you. Okay, which day you need to sit for what subject, okay, how many hours I need to sit for this. So when you have all this timetable, you need to do some planning. Okay, make sure you get everything ready well in advance on your exam. Okay, do not leave it the day before to suddenly realize you don't know where to go or what you are supposed to bring. Okay, for example, like mathematics, you need to bring your calculator. Okay, some even you need to bring a ruler because you got the pie chart, you got the graph, all that. So prepare like 3 days or even like 2 days before the exam. Okay, so for SPM student, for normal like for 1 until your normal exam, normally you sit your exam inside your classroom. Okay, but for SPM, it will be different. You need to go to different hall according to your code because you will be given one code. Okay, so you need to plan which hall or which classroom should I go during this subject. You must know where you need to go. Then if let's say your exam start from 9, so please be like at least half an hour before, like 8:30, you must be at the venue there to get ready all your things. Okay, then your pens, your pencil, your eraser, all that you must make sure that all enough for you during these 2 hours or 2.5 hours of your exam. So plan all your things. When you have your timetable, you just write it down. Okay, for this subject, what should I bring? Then where should I go? So when you see, then you will start to prepare all your things 2 days before that. Okay, then check all the rules and requirements and plan your route and journey times. Rules and requirement, normally this one is more to SPM, because SPM you need to bring your IC, then you have one SPM slip. Without the slip, you cannot go inside the exam hall. So make sure you bring your IC and also your this SPM slip. Must be with you all the time. Okay. Then when you go to the school, you see all Form 5 students, they will go for exam. So make sure you must know that from your house go to school, normally how long is the journey? Then will it be jam or not? If let's say jam, you need to depart from your house earlier. Okay, because SPM, if let's say you are late, the invigilator will not allow you to enter anymore. So make sure at least half an hour before your exam, you arrive there. Okay? So at least you have all these things ready. So when you go for exam, at least you'll feel more secure. I have all the things already. Then I have done all my revision. Okay, so it's time to answer all the things. If let's say you don't bring one thing, somehow I can see certain people that they bring calculator. But when they go to exam hall, only they realize that, my calculator no battery already, cannot function. How? Okay, then you will start to panic. This one will be affect your mood, then it will affect your exam. Okay, make sure everything is ready for. Okay, the last one. This one is the most important. Drink plenty of water. Okay, I know most of you, when you come to exam times, you will keep on study, and you forget about this water. Okay, water is the most important things. Okay, because without water, I think most of you will know, without water, how long can we survive? So without water, you will be dehydrated. Okay, then you will fall sick. When you fall sick, you can't even go for exam, no matter how well you prepare for all the things. So make sure you drink plenty of water. Okay, so to keep yourself healthy, okay, then at least your physical is healthy. Then when your moods all get ready, you have sufficient your revision. Then when you go for exam, this one will be good for you. You'll feel a little bit calm because you have already prepared all the things. So this is the 10 tips that I can share with most of you, because somehow I can see certain students, they really lack of some of this, especially this one, the water. They really will forget about this, and you will see a lot of your classmates before exam, they will start to sick. Why? Because first, you have a very less sleep hours because you continue study. Second, you don't eat much because you say that you don't have appetite. You stress because of exam. And the last thing is you don't drink water. Okay, all of you must be remember, if let's say your physical is not healthy, how are you going to sit for exam? So in order for you to sit for exam, make sure yourself healthy. Drink a lot of water, take regular break, then eat a healthy food, nutrition food. Try to avoid all those goreng like mee goreng, KFC. Try to avoid all this during this time. After your exam, you can eat. Okay? So before I end, just to let you all know, for Plan B learning, we are focused on chapter. We do it differently from other tuition center. Tuition center normally they will go month by month. then they will teach you one by one. But for us, it's like because we know that certain chapter is quite important for your exam, so we will just focus on chapter. And some student might face that, this chapter I already know, can the tuition teacher teach faster? Okay, so somehow you can select your chapter. Probably you will see my chapter 2 is very weak, I don't understand, so I only attend for chapter 2. Then next round, chapter 5. So you can skip some chapter that you're very familiar with. Okay, so for those who are really interested, you can always register with us now. We are open for registration. One session of free trial. Okay, so if interested, then maybe later on, my partner Tony will be giving you the link. You all just register your subject over there. Okay, that's all for my section, for my sharing. Thank you very much. So my name is Celine. This is my contact number. If let's say you have any things regarding your SPM preparation, or even for this e-tuition, or your friends have anything about the e-counseling, you are welcome to always WhatsApp me on all this, or even you can give me a call. Okay, so we as a Plan B Learning, we are ready to help all the students on all these things. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you very much.
All right, thanks to Miss Shirley for the wonderful sharing. So before we move on, I'd like to ask everyone, any one of you have any question to ask before we end this session? If you don't have question, maybe you type a no on the chat, so maybe so that we can move on faster. Okay, anyone else want to ask anything? Okay, great. I hope this sharing benefit you a lot, especially the last one, drink more water. It actually helped me personally to now go through my exam time, especially, and then or take more rest, right? Don't burn the midnight oil. It actually will harm you. Right, so next we actually let's move on for certificate. Okay, so please go to this link and register yourself. Okay, this thing will only open for 30 minutes from now. Okay, so that we can send you the e-certificate later on within 30 days after this webinar, right? And we will have a survey also inside this link for those who wanted to, go for a free trial for e-tuition. Okay, there's a subject inside for you to fill out. If you are keen to try, just fill out any subject that you want. Okay, tick and then submit to us. We will contact you later on, okay, for the available date for the free trial. Right. Okay, so what's next for tomorrow? Okay, tomorrow we have a SPM principal accountant or account pelupusan in the morning 10 a.m. right, by Mr. Jaya. And then on the afternoon 2 p.m. we will have pengajian keusahawan, okay, pengenalan kepada keusahawan, okay, from Mr. Iqmal and Alif, okay. And then also tomorrow we will be sharing how to learn fast and effective uh, without difficulties in memorizing SPM theories, okay. Something like maybe your sejarah is all on theory, so how you going to memorize it easier, okay. This one will be focused on auditory learning style, meaning for those who are actually learn by listening, okay. You learn faster by listening, okay. So for those of you who are interested, please go to register with us and then join us tomorrow. Okay. Join our Telegram, right? Join our Telegram. We'll have more webinar coming this week, next week, or maybe and there's more. Okay, we will actually send out the latest webinar here. Okay, we'll blast to everyone. So please join this Telegram and we will get everyone update. Right. So that's all from us. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this session and thank you very much.
现阶段。
Mama always told me, don't you run with scissors, son, you're gonna hurt someone. Mama told me, look before you leap, always think before you speak, and watch the friend you keep. Stay along the beaten path, never listened when she said, sharp edges have consequences. I guess that I had to find out for myself. Sharp edges have consequences now. Every scar is a story I can tell. Should've played it safer from the start. Loved you like a house of cards, let it fall apart. But all the things I couldn't understand, I never could have planned, that made me who I am. Put your nose in paper bags instead of smoking cigarettes. These years you're never getting back. Stay along the beaten path, I never listened when she said, sharp edges have consequences. I guess that I